I'm okay and I'm on fire and I'm so grateful that the morning's moving fast, but you still have time to be here right now with me. Thank
Yes, I
you.
came into the office because I needed to find out what time to meet them. And yeah, it's a little earlier than I expected, so we only have a 4-hour window to get the lower part of this deck done. So David's out there already peeling paint away and all that fun stuff.
All right. Wow. Well, I'd like to make it a consistent practice to connect because life will continue to happen and it's a beautiful thing to prioritize stuff. And so that's
And
like,
like I said, I really wanted to come up with a way that, I can be in here and we can have some spirit talk without feeling like there's, stuff going on all around me.
yeah. Wow. Well, we will find a way, and how beautiful that you say that because, man, isn't that life? Isn't that what so many people go through? How can I get centered and connected when there's all these things, especially being in a city, when there's so many things pulling your attention? Like, so I'm feeling you. I'm on fire, by the way. I'm like, I'm just like double the gratitude, infinite gratitude because of that truth, because of how real that is whenever things just get busy and pulling you and things need attention. But what is the most important thing is you for you and understanding that connection. And so it's awesome y'all wake up in the morning and do that every morning.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know. At least we had time to do that this morning. I feel really good about it, and I feel like we're grounded and centered, and yeah.
Oh man. So, we've been out of Louisiana for 6 years. 6 years. Is that right? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, going on 6 years this May. And I got to say that it has been one of the most greatest joys of my life to be on a joyride with you and David and to explore infinite possibilities.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful journey.
It is. And it's taking, like, the meaning's always been the same, but it's getting deeper and deeper and deeper for me, especially with you two returning back to Canayo and being in the presence of such a sacred land that has had, and it's sacred because it's earth, but it's also sacred because it has had so much consistent, intentional energy for love and blessings put into it every day. And that is incredible.
Right? Just hold the space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah. I mean, that's part of what a joyride is to me. Consistent action in affirming what's possible and what the belief that you want to hold for your life and who you are and how you show up. I mean, like I said, it keeps evolving. And
I know constantly it's ever changing, and the more we're just free with it, it seems like the opportunities are just constantly coming through.
I really appreciate.
Like, for example, David and I got offered the opportunity to caretake Sue Wong's property yesterday to take Scott and Laura's house.
Wow. Whoa.
I know.
Wow.
Not interested, but still, it's great to be, you're offered these things and you're like, no, I know what I'm doing. I'm going towards spirit. I've already done the thing where I got lost in materialism and I'm not doing it again. I'm sticking to my joyride. Yeah,
that internal ride where everything is just about truth, what really matters.
Yeah. Faux show.
Faux show. The Joyride faux show. Right? Wow. Well, and I so appreciate you bringing up the other day where you were in your process of finances because, and just kind of how you shared that you've thought about me and what we're doing and how we're making it work. And that surrender to trusting with consistent action towards living your fullest expression of your best self, that those needs will be met. I mean, they are met right here, right now, in this now moment. It's when we think about the future that I get tripped up. And so when you talked to me about that and you had such peace around the knowingness of that everything's all right, it was so helpful because I'm in the same position And I also realized that I have put so much value and self-worth of who I am into how much dollars are in the bank. And that has been a really somewhat uncomfortable thing to dismantle and restructure and affirm a new belief and a more powerful belief of my own worth and
Yeah.
value. So you brought that up yesterday, and I just had to say it again and say thank you because it's been living with me, and it's so important to remember that. And the more that we step into who we are, that service is beyond a yearly salary.
Yeah, I mean, it's that vein runs deep because you can say that you're comfortable along the way as you're communicating, but it's so deep that there's just these endless tributaries of the main vein that are like worries and expectations of yourself or from your family of like what you're supposed to have, the illusory like security and stability that you're supposed to have, which at any moment can just disappear because it's all an illusion. So it's easy to say, I'm resting in this space of knowing that it will come up, but that's not to say that in 1 second the pendulum doesn't swing in another direction, but it's like practicing holding that center and just trusting. Just like the magician's way, trusting, knowing that that parking spot is waiting for you, going into it,
Wow. Yes. And I think about you saying that, like how things can change in a moment, because I've been sitting and holding in my heart the natural disaster that's happening in California with the mudslides. And that, like, in a moment, the land moves and takes that house that you worked so hard for and those things that you spent time acquiring, and it just washes it away. And then what are you left with, Like, what then? What, what support do you have that you've cultivated in yourself for yourself and the people that are around you you've chosen to have by your side, or even random strangers that show up in a time of need? I've just been thinking about, golly, you think life is going in one way and you got it all, and then boom, maybe even your entire life is taken away from you. Or maybe it's not that it's taken away, but it's changed in a moment.
Well, I mean, basically a practice for, the ultimate translation, if that is where we're headed, to transform out of this body into something else, then you're practicing, this is like you manifesting opportunities, whether we accept that we are manifesting a landslide or not. Like, that's a tough conversation, but it's practice to see what's left once it's all gone. Once all of the physicality is gone, like what's left. And I think it's teetering on the edge of a bigger journey that we're all destined, or at least interested in enough to be destined.
Meaning death?
Yeah.
Like in gaining and being, yeah. Death? Well, right. Like,
Yeah.
because, well, I guess how I'm understanding what you're saying is to use the time we have to gain skill and wisdom to be prepared for those shocking moments, potentially shocking moments.
Yeah, because the shocking moments are constantly happening, and they're all comparable to the big shock, and it's like when you lose that home or when you lose your ground underneath your feet and you lose all your financial support, like you're in that space where you're facing yourself minus something that you thought was a part of you. And I think that that's what I was getting at, is that like it's a practice to channel your energy, because if you are, let's say that you lose your home or your purse for that matter, and you lose it and you go ballistic and your relationships with yourself and others become neurotic, then you're swept away by your karmic propensities and mental obscuration. So if you're able to hold yourself centered and lucid in that experience, then, you have a better chance of holding yourself lucid during the ultimate translation of death, and then you'll be able to not be swept away by your fears and karmic propensities. So I feel like it's a great opportunity for us to practice, to say right now in this moment, I had this life for however many years in Kalepa, and the illusion of stability and security was there, and it's swept away. And now I have nothing, but what's left? I'm still here. I've crashed into the plane crashed, and I'm still here. So it's a great opportunity to practice what it means to truly be.
Thank you for saying that, because I would love to know more about, because I feel like that practice is being present with me right now in the terms of money and finances, and the fear that comes up when it's like, I don't have enough, or where's the next dollar that I need in order to get food or to survive. Like, it's a real deep, wild, mental, neurotic ride that goes on in there in my mind. And
Definitely.
and so, hey, Prima. So I've been thinking about it in that, and then I also have been a witness to it with our family dog passing away, and where that dog was this representation of so many family members and experiences. And then when it was gone, it's like, whoa, there's my mom and dad left with themselves. There's not this dog there. And the same thing with me. Boom, there goes all the money out of the bank account. Or like, even if I had tons of money and it was in the stock market crashes, and whoa, bam, gone away. Same kind of feeling, same kind of panic of fear that can come up. And so I've been in that. And I feel like I'm doing a really good job of understanding this truth that you're talking about, but it's a practice. It's like, so I'm wondering what you're doing for yourself as a practice, because I've been practicing it and it still creeps in sometimes, and I go into this neurotic place of fear and scarcity and doubt, and then like relationships start to suffer. So I'm real clear that I'm done with that and can find some appreciation for the opportunity it is to gain a deeper understanding and skill. So I'm just wondering what you and David have been doing to practice.
Well, one of the things that sticks out right off the bat are the 4 thoughts that turn the mind, and that's something I touched on the other night. And the last one of the 4 thoughts is the unsatisfactoriness of conditioned existence, and that's that all peoples, places, joys, and things in this cycle of existence torment us because of the 3 types of suffering, which are attachment, aversion, and ignorance. And it's like we can get lost in them, but it's like the feast offered by the executioner before he brings you to your execution. So the goal is to move through it with detachment or non-attachment, and then you're free and you're liberated, and you can be free of those attachments as they disappear, because they're all impermanent. These 4 thoughts are focusing on the things that are constantly causing us to go into those areas that you're speaking, to have those reactions when something is taken, quote unquote, taken from our identity, or something that leaves our life. There's these practices that have been helping us, and that's the 4 thoughts that turn the mind. Let's see if I can remember the first one. It's all right, I know there's the precious human body that is free and well endowed, and that's to remember that becoming manifest in a human form is rare and challenging and difficult, and so recognizing that puts you in a space where you realize, okay, I must make use of this opportunity. Yeah, This is it. And then you've got, gosh, I'm sorry, my mind is doing several things at once, but
shoot, that one alone. I
know, yeah.
I mean, if the others.
And then there's death and impermanence is the second one, and that's to remember that the life of all beings is as fragile as a bubble of water, and the time of death is uncertain, and after death, our physicality is nothing but an empty vessel. And after that point, only truth is of benefit. So knowing that we should practice diligently exploring truth. So we know that being human is rare, and we're in this physicality, and we must make use of it. And because we don't know how long we're going to be here, and because we know that once we're out of this physicality, only truth is going to be of benefit, we must practice understanding truth diligently. And then the next is the karma, cause and effect thought. And that is that, if you don't purify yourself of damaging thoughts, of holding negative thoughts, or these, mental obscurations or karmic propensities, if you don't practice clearing yourself of these things and doing what feels the most beneficial for all of creation, then once that physicality is gone, you have more of a likelihood, like I said earlier, to be swept away by those karmic propensities, and you will not experience freedom once your physicality is gone. So that's where all of those non-virtuous and virtuous deeds, and instilling perfections, and sowing love and compassion when hatred comes up, and all of these different types of methodologies of, okay, well, what happens when I feel this way? What can I counteract it with? Almost like the 8 fears. What can I counteract the doubt with? So that's been really helpful. And then again, that last one is the unsatisfactoriness of conditioned existence, and that's to not be attached, averted, or lost in ignorance when it comes to all of the material plane, because it will fade, it will disappear, and in the end, all we have is truth and our discipline when it comes to navigating our own karmic propensities. Yeah.
Wow. And so to get this type of liberation and awakenness, it takes, I love the word diligence. It takes consistent practice in some way.
Exactly. So if you're experiencing a moment in your life where something's taken away from you, like you were saying earlier, that is every moment like that, those are the practice points. You can either react and spiral off, or you can raise yourself into some level of lucidity as far as you can understand it and practice. And I think if we can keep holding those thoughts in our mind as we move through chaos or just physicality in general, then you can start to navigate more clearly as it happens. Because without practice, right at the beginning, when something happens, you're just like the Tasmanian devil, right?
Oh,
like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do?
Spinning out.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then that drives you. That drives the vehicle that is you, rather than detaching and saying, wow, notice. I notice. I mean, maybe that's the first step, is the noticing. To simply...
That's it. Awareness is the first step.
Yeah.
Awareness, and with that comes the awareness of your desire to experience liberation, and what that really means, because we can confuse liberation with lower level emotions, but true liberation is really just like that speech said that you shared with me, like the truth, the quest for truth. That's it,
Yeah. That's the journey of a joyrider.
I'm telling you, and it's all throughout it. When you think of Jesus, like that's all the concept of Jesus spoke of: truth, unconditional love, full surrender, to the point of, even if even if everyone around you is persecuting you, to the point where your physical being is taken away from you, like you still surrender yourself for the benefit of all beings. And that level of surrender is like what's necessary from us. So here we go.
Woo! Doing it every day, sitting my butt down. That's how I'm choosing to do it, and that's how I hear that you and David are choosing to do it now that you're back in Canayo, is like every day, starting the day by sitting down and breathing. I mean, y'all's practice has a little bit more to it, but like at the beginning of introducing yourself to the noticing of these neurotic thoughts, it's as simple as sit down and count to 5, inhale, count to 5, exhale. and
moment,
notice.
yeah. Because I used to say when we lived in Kalepa that I had this experience every morning where as soon as I would wake up, it felt like I was tied behind like this train by a rope by my ankle, and I was just being pulled full speed ahead. And as soon as my eyes would open, I would remember that I'm still being pulled full speed ahead, and I had never had this sense of being able to ground myself out because of the scale of the project that we took on. It was such a large scale endeavor for two people to handle, and we didn't provide ourselves with a lot of space to take that moment in the morning to orient yourself. It's like balls to the walls right when you wake up, have a cup of coffee, and just go. And I think there's something really important about that moment when you come out of the dream world, of the sleeping dream world, into this dream world, recognizing that you just came out of a dream into another dream, Inception style, and you have the ability to practice lucidity in both states, all states of dreaming. So where do you want to orient yourself? You have the ability and the clarity when you wake up in the morning to say, here's this day. I've experienced this sun before. And how can I orient myself in a way that helps me see the truth as I navigate through this dream, as people and places and things around me are shifting and changing, and yeah.
Woo, because there's so much distraction. It's imperative to slow it down, to choose. Everything else can wait. I am choosing to
Sure.
sit for a minute. Everything else can
And it's
wait.
not selfish. There's no selfishness about it, because you know that by doing that, you're allowing yourself to be a better part of the picture for all of the dream. Because if you're Tasmanian deviling around, then you're just leaving a path of destruction. So if you can orient yourself in a way that benefits all, well, that's liberation. Yeah, you're free of all the things you think you need to do, the things you think you owe. What you really owe is you owe it to yourself and creation to put yourself in the right state so that you can navigate this.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. What a ride. What a ride.
What a ride.
What a ride. Well, I tell you what, it sure is a lot of fun on the joyride to live in the fullest expression of your best self and knowing the ultimate truth. The great and the grief becomes valuable and something to appreciate.
Yeah, and it's a pendulum. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hold it. You can hold it in 1 minute and lose it in the next, but that precious human body that is free and well endowed, and this life being short, it's moving forward, and as soon as you slip off, it's like you're already at another moment, and you already have another opportunity.
Oh, isn't
So
that
it's like
nice?
a constant stream. Huh?
Isn't that nice and peaceful? Any moment. You can begin at any moment. Nothing's
Exactly.
lost.
And if you
Nothing's.
falter, it's only just a part of the dream, and it's just like, imagine in your sleeping world, if you did something you didn't approve of. Well, when you woke up, you wouldn't really hold yourself accountable or feel so guilty for what you did or get lost in the feels. You would say, wow, I'm thankful to be awake, and I'll never do that. And so I think that's something to say about the waking world, is that if we're awake and we find ourselves faltering, instead of slipping into those like guilt and all of those propensities that we've been talking about, like, you can see it as, oh wow, like I noticed that, I'm aware of it, and now I move forward with a new type of awareness. And that's practice. We're slowly cleansing and purifying ourselves to the level to where we can hold it 24/7, 365 lucidity in all realms. That's my goal, girl.
Oh, preach. I mean, I did a call the other day with this woman because I'm all into this Univera products. It's not about the products; it's about well-being and health and wellness being at the core of everything that I do, because health is wealth, and to have that precious physical human body so important in everything I do. So she and I were talking, and we do this coaching course. We do like mentoring, because that's really what it's about. Products are just an idea. I mean, you'll find the answers for yourself. Every individual is different. But she was speaking to this, um, and I really appreciated having my beliefs challenged in this way. But yeah, I just had
I think it's right. We better have our beliefs challenged. I want to have my foundation rocked, you know.
Yeah, like, you got to look at that. You got to notice it. It dictates what is possible for you.
And it's the only way to evolve and to find where your beliefs may not be based on your own experience. And if life and physicality is ever shifting around us, then we owe it to ourselves to not hold tightly to anything too tightly, because we need space to be able to find new discoveries and to explore new ways that help us navigate better, because every moment we're learning a little more. So by holding too tightly to a belief, you're not giving yourself space to move forward. So that's a fun thing to explore.
That's right.
Where, I mean, it's the attachment or aversion or ignorance, you know, and holding too tightly to something is like, you know, that analogy. Remember that book that we read while we were on the Joyride? That excerpt where, you know, it was like clinging to a rock on the bottom of a stream bed, you know, fearful of letting go.
Yeah, and you're just being beat by the water into the ground under that pressure.
You know that if you let go, you're going to be swept away by the stream, and you're probably going to tumble and hit your head on the rocks, and you will, you know. But the point of it is that you're going in the flow, and you're not holding too tightly onto anything, because yeah, that doesn't feel good at all when I think about it.
The what? The holding on, or the bumpy part?
I just like holding on underwater while the water's just like
totally
by. You're just like, no.
The pressure. Oh my gosh, the pain, the unnecessary weight. Much easier to let go. Maybe not comfortable at first, but boom, liberating.
I know.
Actually,
maybe not comfortable ever.
Yeah, but that's where
but that's not the
point. No, and that's where the practice is. But then there's like, you know, because when we chose to do this and leave Louisiana and challenge our beliefs and cultivate new ones, we have come in contact with some of the most amazing people, experiences, and places which have supported the new belief that we cultivated in ourselves. And that's amazing. I mean, you got to do the work for yourself. You got to be diligent in the practice, honor and appreciate this precious human experience. And whenever you begin to do that consistently, all of these amazing beings in physical form and non-physical form show up by your side. Show up by your side and encourage you forward into that orientation of truth and the joy that is uniquely for you to experience. You know, whatever it is. If it's gardening and living a permaculture life, or if it's watching football on Sunday, or if it's climbing a mountain, you have more permission to be in the things that bring you joy and appreciate the opportunity that you have to cultivate community around your joy and to sustain it in your life and to realize that it's here and now and a precious opportunity that doesn't last. It's just it's
So you orient yourself in that direction, and you're pulling towards you all the things that support that orientation, no matter what your orientation. I guess that's, you know, the law of attraction, right? Like you're moving forward into whatever you're looking at, and if you orient yourself and ground yourself in what we're talking about, it seems like the people, the situations supporting that path.
Yeah, to just cheer you on. It's
Love it.
it's so beautiful. It's
Well, I cheer you on, and I think that I should go cheer David on as he's outside scraping paint soon.
Okay. I'm so grateful that you took time to be here with me now, and I love you. I love you, David. I love you, Prima. Oh my gosh, I love technology for allowing us to be able to connect like this. And I wish you the most productive, smooth day in accomplishing all you have set to experience. And I look forward to more and figuring out how to do this in video so that I can see you, because this conversation has been a delight and very, very enlightening. Thank you.
I'm glad we had the time this morning, and it wasn't even 30 minutes, so
we made it happen. We made it happen. So onward and upward. Yeah, time's an illusion, isn't it? We get to bend it. I love that Prima says onward and upward. It's like onward and upward, Joyrider. Woo! Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to step out and see what's up with the D-man, and I don't see him, so I'm going to go hunt him down.
Okay.
And you enjoy the rest of your day, and we will catch up shortly.
Mwah. Mwah. Mwah.
Mwah. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
I tell you what, I love Josh Cuvion. I love David Hanegraaff. We've been together for a long time now. It was love at first sight, I tell you. And the other thing that I want to just send out while we're here together, I want to share a couple things. Here's a little glare. This is like an image that I look at every day whenever I sit down and I do my practice, so that I can control my mind and my emotions and calm myself down so I can tap into that truth that Josh was talking about. I sit here and I think about all my family and all my friends and all the world. And I tune into my heart and I open it, and I send that out. I send that out to you now. I send that out to all who are suffering and struggling, and even those who have recently lost their life in this natural disaster California is experiencing. I'm thinking about you, and I am loving you as big as I can possibly love you from my current position, and know that we're in this together. I got your back. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm committed to continuing this journey into truth and into love, and to show up for myself, and to show up for my community, and to show up for my family, and to show up for unknown people that I may never meet. But I'm sitting in front of this picture every day, and I'm thinking about you, and I'm loving you, and I wish for you the greatest peace and freedom that you can experience. So ride on, my friends. And then I'm a big vision board fan. This is my current vision board. Good vibrations, send and receive joy with ease. That means embracing the great and the grief, and using those grief challenge moments to cultivate some skill, like Josh was talking about, and that truth, that inner voice. And thank you. Yeah, I'm still talking about Oprah. Lord of mercy, thank you. I grew up with this woman. I'll never forget. Sitting on that brown shag carpet in the 80s while my babysitter Bertha was folding laundry and watching Days of Our Lives, and then in comes the Oprah show, and I've been watching and paying attention ever since. And the thing that I want to point out now about that speech that I love so much, and about how she lives and leads her life, is she's talking about this right here. She's talking about that truth, that inner truth, that wisdom that rests within all things, that knowingness that we are all one and we're all connected. Hallelujah. Thank you for preaching that message. Thank you for living it. And I aspire to do that too, and to be radiant AF. Hashtag AF. And grateful Grateful for the whole damn thing. And know that whenever you sit down and you send that love to yourself and others, it's seen and it's felt. And there's some beautiful people that see and hear you. So keep those good vibrations high, okay? As you continue to ride on your ride of this beautiful thing we like to call the Joyride. Amen, hallelujah, y'all. Wishing you all